What if I told you that the very thing you rely on the most is the same thing that keeps letting you down? Yes, motivation. That explosive burst of energy you feel when you start something new. That spark that makes you believe, this time I'm unstoppable. But then life happens. A few days pass. The excitement fades. The work becomes repetitive, ordinary, even boring. And suddenly, that spark you trusted so deeply, gone. And you're left staring at yet another half-finished dream, wondering what's wrong with you. Let me tell you a secret. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just running your life on the wrong fuel. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share a simple story about a young watchmaker and an ancient, impossible clock. Inside this story lies a power far stronger than motivation, a quiet force that never disappears, never crumbles, and never betrays you. Stay with me, because the lesson he discovered might be the very key you've been searching for. Adrian was a young watchmaker who inherited his father's tiny, dusty workshop, a place filled with delicate tools, glass lenses, and the soft heartbeat of countless ticking clocks. His father had once been known as one of the greatest watchmakers in the country. Adrian had the same talent, but he lacked something his father had mastered. Adrian hated the boring work, changing old batteries, repairing worn-out straps, polishing decades-old pocket watches. He found it all beneath him. He dreamed of invention. His notebooks overflowed with sketches of brilliant, impossible clocks. Clocks with spinning constellations. Clocks with dancing figures. Clocks that looked less like machines and more like magic. When inspiration hit, Adrian worked like a wildfire, passionate, unstoppable. But the moment he met a difficult problem, the fire died. He would shove the project aside and wait for a new spark. Because of this, the workshop began to decay. Dust gathered, bills piled up, and customers drifted away like passing shadows. The silence in the shop became heavier than the ticking of the clocks. One morning, an elderly, wealthy man entered quietly, carrying a magnificent grandfather clock, silent for 50 long years. Its polished wood shone like dark honey, carved with delicate designs. "My father left this to me," the old man whispered. "I took it to every watchmaker I could find. They all said it's impossible to repair." He paused, looking straight into Adrian's eyes. "But they also said your father was the only man who could have fixed it, and that you have his gift." Then he said something that made Adrian's heart race. "Fix this, and I will pay you enough to save this shop." This wasn't an ordinary repair. This was a challenge, a legend, a chance to prove himself. Adrian accepted instantly. The first few days were thrilling. He dismantled the enormous clock piece by piece, fascinated by its complexity. But soon, the true work began. Over 1,000 individual parts, every piece needed to be cleaned, inspected, measured, tested. It was slow. It was repetitive. It was mind-numbingly boring. Within a week, Adrian's excitement evaporated. He found himself daydreaming about new inventions again. His patience cracked. One afternoon, in a flash of frustration, he knocked over an entire tray of tiny screws. As he knelt to gather them, despair hit him like a wave. "I can't do this," he whispered. "I'll call the old man tomorrow and tell him the truth." That night, restless and defeated, Adrian opened his father's old desk. Inside, tucked away in a hidden drawer, he found several worn leather journals, his father's work logs. Expecting poetic wisdom or brilliant theories, he flipped them open eagerly. But instead, he found simple entries. Tuesday, cleaned the escapement wheel. Took 3 hours. Wednesday, tried fixing the town hall clock. Failed today. Will try again tomorrow. Thursday, repaired a boy's old watch for free. His smile was worth it. page after page of quiet, humble effort. At the end of one journal, Adrian found a paragraph that felt like a hammer striking his heart. A man who works only when inspired will have a life full of beginnings, but no endings. A great clock doesn't tick because it is excited. It ticks because it is built to keep going, second after second. The craftsman must do the same. You don't show up because you feel good. You show up, and then, if fortune is kind, feeling good may follow. Adrian sat still for a long time. For the first time, he understood. His father wasn't great because he had endless inspiration. He was great because he had discipline. The next morning, Adrian entered the workshop with a new mindset. No waiting for inspiration, no chasing excitement, no dramatic ideas. He picked up a single tiny gear and began. He made a rule, 4 hours every morning, no matter what, no matter how boring, no matter how slow, just show up. The first days were brutal. Some mornings he spent all 4 hours working on one stubborn part. The old Adrian would have quit a dozen times. The new Adrian simply cleaned his tools and whispered, "I'll try again tomorrow." Slowly, quietly, something changed. He began noticing the small joys, the satisfying click of perfect gears, the soft shine of polished brass, the beauty hidden in patience. He wasn't just fixing a clock, he was rebuilding himself. After 3 weeks of steady, disciplined effort, he found it. A single bent tooth on a gear no bigger than a coin, invisible to anyone lacking the patience to search for it. With careful, steady hands, he repaired it. Piece by piece, he rebuilt the enormous clock. Finally, he attached the pendulum, gave it a gentle push. Silence. Then, tick, tick, tick. The sound filled the shop like music. It wasn't just a clock coming back to life. It was Adrian coming back to life. When the old man returned, Adrian simply pointed to the corner. The grandfather clock stood proudly, ticking in perfect rhythm. The old man touched it with trembling fingers. A tear rolled down his cheek. "My father used to wind this every Sunday morning. I haven't heard this sound since I was a child." He looked at Adrian with gratitude deeper than words. "You didn't just fix a clock, you restored a memory." And Adrian finally understood. Great work is never about ego. It's about service, patience, discipline, honor. Adrian saved his workshop, but more importantly, he saved himself. So what about us? 1. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the engine. 2. Fall in love with the process, not the prize. 3. Just show up, especially on the days you don't want to. Great things are built not by lightning, but by steady, persistent steps, day after day after day. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps stories like this alive. I'll meet you in the next one.